Hi, and welcome to Program 3 of the Fit for Life series. Tonight, we take a look at infants. So stay tuned as we guide you through all their needs for normal growth and development. The choices you make in feeding your infants can have a lifetime impact on your child's health and weight. For example, breastfeeding can reduce the risk of ear infections, stomach viruses, and childhood leukemia. It also increases your child's chance of having a healthy weight later in life. Most babies double their birth weight by 5 to 6 months and triple it by 1 year. Healthcare providers check heights and weights at each visit to see infants are gaining enough but not too much weight, and be warned that early overfeeding and excessive weight gain during infancy may increase the risk of childhood weight problems later. Your goal is to help your baby regulate their own food intake based on internal cues of hunger and fullness. This helps them eat what they need when they need it for healthy growth and development. Here is the guide for their diet and nutrition from 0 to 24 months. From birth to 6 months, babies get all the nutrients they need from breast milk. Exclusive breastfeeding for at least 4 months decreases the incidence of atopic dermatitis, cow's milk allergy, and wheezing in early life when compared with feeding infants on formula. Infant formula is an acceptable alternative when mothers decide to decrease or discontinue breastfeeding. You should not give your baby cow's milk until after age 1, and low-fat milk is not recommended at this stage. By 4 to 6 months, most babies are ready to eat solid foods, though they will still continue to get most of their calories, protein, vitamins, and minerals from breast milk or infant formula. Introduce iron-fortified infant cereal like rice and barley or pureed meats to help replenish iron reserves. By 6 to 8 months, it is an appropriate time to begin pureed or mashed fruits and vegetables. Gradually, introduce single-item foods one at a time. Watch carefully for any reactions, such as diarrhea, vomiting, or unusual rashes. By 7 to 10 months, babies are usually ready to begin feeding themselves with finger foods, such as dry cereal or teething biscuits. They can also begin to use a cup for water. By 8 to 12 months, most infants are ready for soft or cooked foods. From 1 to 2 years, babies continue developing eating skills. They feed themselves and enjoy the same foods as the rest of the family. Choking on firm, round foods is a risk, so cut these foods into smaller 1/4-inch squares. Never give a baby who's less than 1 year old honey, as it is associated with botulism. It's no secret breastfeeding is best for baby and best for mum. Breast milk's unique antibodies or disease-fighting cells help protect infants from numerous diseases and illnesses. Breastfeeding also helps reduce a nursing mother's risk of diabetes, breast and ovarian cancers, and postpartum depression. Breastfeeding has both hygienic and economic benefits and is less time-consuming since it eliminates the preparation and sterilization of plastic bottles associated with formula. Depending on the formula brand, breastfeeding can save your family £1,000 to £4,000 per year. While breastfeeding is the most natural way to feed your baby, new mums need information and support to be successful. So tonight, I'm joined by Natalie Lombard and Nancy Lopez, midwives at St. Bernard's Hospital, to talk to us about this. So Natalie, start with you and tell us everything that is available for somebody who obviously has never breastfed before and is having a baby.
As you've mentioned, breastfeeding is obviously the best option for newborn babies, and obviously the World Health Organization recommends at least exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months and obviously up to a year if possible. So as health professionals, we are very keen to encourage and promote breastfeeding, and obviously we are there to support new mothers to make that decision. A lot of women don't feel they have to think about the feeding question until their babies are born, but I think it's something very important to be considered as soon as you get pregnant. Antenatally, we have just started to offer a breastfeeding support group, and what we do is we inform all mothers of all the health benefits, and we have a discussion about how breastfeeding works and the importance of early initiation with good attachment and positioning. And we also show this new DVD which has come out, produced by the NHS and the Department of Health, and it's very, very good at getting all mothers to know about the benefits of breastfeeding. Obviously, as soon as a baby is born, mothers can expect help immediately from their midwife. I mean, we encourage skin-to-skin contact immediately to initiate the baby's sucking reflex, and we will be there to support you on how to position baby to the breast and get the breastfeeding going as soon as possible.
Okay, so say it's a new mum, they've had a baby, and it's not going too well. I mean, is there, Nancy, is there support? I mean, are you always there? Are you always helping?
I mean, obviously, any transition to parenthood is difficult. I mean, let alone when you've got a little fussy baby who doesn't want to feed or doesn't want to feed when you want it to feed. That's something that we try to get through, that implementing a routine as soon as they're born isn't viable. As with support, in the hospital, you'll have a one-on-one midwife care during your postnatal period, which will help you make sure that you know how to put the baby to the breast. And we will not let you go home unless we're absolutely certain that you can do this competently. Once you go home, you will still be visited by us, the community midwives, or we'll invite you to come into the hospital and we will offer any support needed. Obviously, if you do change your mind and you wish to transfer to bottle feeding, we will support you in that decision as well. We just want to make sure that your baby thrives.
Postnatal care refers to the time after you have had your baby and is designed to check you and your baby's health after delivery and support you and your baby's adaptation to family life. Midwives are able to provide this care for you and your baby, and both Natalie and Nancy are going to take us through the care you can expect once you and your baby go home. So, Nancy, once you're happy, like you referred, you won't let mums go home until you're absolutely sure that they can cope at home. What care is given to them once they're alone at home?
Well, usually we invite them back to hospital the day after they've gone home with the baby. Basically just to know what the night was like, and just to make sure that the baby's been feeding properly and that they're not too exhausted or they're exerting themselves too much. We generally have a little chat and we make an appointment for a second time, and during that time we weigh the baby to make sure that the baby's putting on weight and has returned back to its birth weight, because usually they do lose a little bit of weight as soon as they're born. And again, we have a little chat about how they're feeding the baby and if the baby's thriving, and we ask them everything up to the colour of the baby's nappy. And that's when we offer what we call the heel prick test, which is a little prick on the baby's heel, and we test for 4 different conditions. These conditions can be very treatable, but only if detected early. These are then sent to the UK and they'll come back to us within 2 or 3 weeks, and they'll let us know whether the baby has any condition or something. After that, we give them a little bit of rest just to make sure that they adapt themselves to family life. And when they come back at around day 10, and if everything's okay and everything's looking well, you can be discharged to our colleagues, the health visitors.
Okay, so you're always in the community, obviously. If there's anything, that the if they need, say, extra help after the 10 days, is that also available? Or
As midwives, we actually can provide care up to 28 days after the baby's born. So if we do have a mum who needs that extra support, we will see them at home if that's the case, or we can ask them to come every day if we have to the hospital. So the support is there for mums, so they feel they are not on their own after having a newborn.
If for example, you're noticing, like you said, that the mum isn't coping, that she's too tired, that maybe, she's not sleeping because maybe the baby's not sleeping properly, or it might be something more sinister like, postpartum depression. Are those things that you look at when you go and see mums at home?
I think it's definitely something we look out for when we talk to mums, and when we're actually doing their check. It's something which we are always looking out for. Unfortunately, for some reason, we're seeing an increased number of women suffering from postnatal depression. So, we do see a number of several referrals to the psychiatric team, if that's the case, just for counselling and support, if that's what's just needed, or for medication if it's slightly serious than that. But postnatal depression is something that can be quite serious if not treated early.
Okay, so thank you very much for joining us and making, our lives that little bit easier now that we know what to do after we take our baby home. One of the biggest responsibilities new parents face is managing your baby's health. Everything from choosing a doctor and scheduling checkups to giving medicine and caring for bumps, bruises, sniffles, and emerging teeth, plus the worry of keeping your baby from getting sick this winter. We cannot stop cold and flu viruses making the rounds each year, as many common winter viruses are airborne. So if your baby takes a breath within, say, 4 to 6 feet of someone who's sick, he can easily catch the bug himself. What's more, most people stricken by winter viruses are contagious before they develop symptoms. So pulling your baby away from a sniffling, coughing, or a sneezing relative doesn't guarantee that he won't come down with similar symptoms himself. Neither will bundling him up. Studies have shown that exposure to cold or damp weather doesn't increase a child's likelihood of catching a cold. Still, don't give up without a fight. There are several simple steps you can take to help fend off germs and keep your baby as healthy as possible this winter. So what can we do? Wash his hands and yours. Regular hand washing is the simplest, most effective way to get rid of colds and flu germs. So wash your hands after you change your baby's diaper, wipe his runny nose, and before preparing food. Wash your baby's hands frequently too, especially before eating, once he's eating solids, and when he comes from nursery or an outing. Also, be diligent about hand washing for siblings, especially if they're sick as well. No need to pay extra for fancy antibacterial soaps though. Any soap will remove germs from the skin's surface. If your baby is in daycare, he will probably get what's going round. But as a parent, if your child is sick with a fever, flu, vomiting, or eye infections, it is your responsibility to keep them away from healthy children and hope other parents do the same. Getting your baby vaccinated helps protect your child from some viruses and bacteria. So make sure his vaccinations are up to date and that he gets a yearly flu jab once he's 6 months old. Do what you can to boost your baby's immunity naturally. Breastfeed him if you can. Once he's eating solids, make sure he gets all the nourishment he needs by offering him a variety of healthy foods. Create a schedule that will help him get plenty of sleep each night, as well as lots of physical activity every day. Since children average 8 to 10 colds a year, it's a good bet that your baby will bring home a few bugs this winter, no matter how hard you try to prevent it. That happens, the best you can do is make him comfortable until the virus works its way out of his system. Tonight we have invited a professor in natural medicine, Professor Jesus Jimenez Suarez, to take us through the natural way to manage your kids' health. Hola, Jesus.
Hola, ¿qué tal, Jerry?
So tell me how natural medicine benefits young kids and babies.
Sí, el tema de la lactancia y el tema de la ayuda a los niños es un tema muy interesante, es un tema que se puede ahondar mucho, es un tema que conviene mucho informar en principio a las personas que estén en esa posibilidad de tener niños pequeños y que los sepa cuidar adecuadamente. Sobre todo el profesional tiene que ser en principio claro a la hora de definir qué es lo que quiere hacer en beneficio de los niños. O sea, la información es muy importante a los padres, la información para llegar a la prevención y de la prevención llegar a lo que es la solución, tratamiento directo de un paciente, en principio de un niño pequeñito que tenga algún tipo de dificultad, algún tipo de problemas. Los niños pequeños suelen siempre tener problemas concretos que pues a muchos padres alarman y recurren rápidamente al pediatra como la solución directa, que es como tiene que ser, como no puede ser de otra manera. Pero muchas veces se utilizan procedimientos muy fuertes, muy severos, que dañan a los niños pequeños. Es importante que en el futuro la pediatría esté en combinación con la medicina natural para que en beneficio de los niños pequeños se pueda llevar a cabo prácticas, terapias que sean completamente inofensivas y de uso directo para los niños pequeños. Hay padres que, por ejemplo, ven a un niño con un típico cólico del lactante y automáticamente pues se alarman y piensan que la solución está en los medicamentos, cuando a lo mejor la solución es más simple que todo eso. Te decía antes que la información es muy importante a los padres. La información es clave para que los padres puedan perfectamente abordar cualquier tipo de tensión que puedan tener en un momento determinado y con una información adecuada corregir un problema. Por ejemplo, niños que tengan problemas de la piel, niños que tengan cierta intolerancia a ciertos alimentos concretos, niños que tengan alergias, niños que tengan vómitos, que tengan fiebres repentinas, niños que no crezcan adecuadamente, que no prosperen adecuadamente, que no engorden adecuadamente. Los padres se alarman y automáticamente piensan que la solución está en los medicamentos. Y ahí es la clave, que podamos siempre informar adecuadamente a las personas para que en todo momento sepan qué hacer, qué recurso puede haber paralelo o complementario sin tener que llegar a los medicamentos de una forma drástica. Por ejemplo, hablando antes del cólico del lactante, muchas veces se utilizan procedimientos muy fuertes, cuando a lo mejor lo más simple es que, por ejemplo, la madre sepa cómo darle de amamantar a un niño pequeño. Muchas madres piensan que es el pecho, la dificultad o el problema en sí y se equivocan, cuando el mejor recurso para un bebé es la leche materna y saber cómo darle el pecho a los niños. También que es quizás un poco la información que muchas madres deberían de tener, no prescindir de lo que es el alimento mayor y más importante que un niño tiene que tener en esos primeros días y meses de edad. En segundo lugar, recurrir a los antibióticos como norma o recurrir a otros procedimientos más fuertes se puede evitar siempre y cuando de que sepamos valorar el alimento concreto de los niños y evitar las intolerancias, por ejemplo, que hoy en día están muy de moda, como las intolerancias a la lactosa. Hay niños que, dándoles correctamente el pecho, se hacen tolerantes a la lactosa y no intolerantes a la lactosa. Hay niños también que por culpa de que hayan complementos que se les ha añadido para solucionar un problema simple, como un problema de un simple resfriado, se han convertido en niños alérgicos de pronto. Y eso se puede evitar perfectamente con una información concreta y un tratamiento natural. La medicina natural tiene mucho que decir en ese sentido y creo que podíamos informar, podíamos perfectamente explicar muchas cosas más si tú lo preguntas.
Thank you very much, Jesús. Muchas gracias.
Gracias a ti.
Gracias. Vegetables are vital for health, but getting children to eat them can be a challenge. Chopped small or pureed make them easier to chew and swallow and can be disguised. So that's what we've done with today's recipe, a burger which is always a hit with children of all ages. But this burger has a twist, as it's a bean burger made from cannellini beans. These beans have many health benefits. They're low fat, high in fiber, and provide a high quality of magnesium, fiber, iron, and folate. They have twice as much iron as beef. Maintaining iron stores high ensures a stable supply of hemoglobin. This carries energizing oxygen to every cell in the body. They are high in minerals such as thiamine, which is essential for high mental performance. Thiamine is required for a neurotransmitter, acetylcholine, which improves reaction time. They are high in trace minerals, which help detoxify the body, and high in fiber to help lower cholesterol. The bean's fiber binds to fat to help flush it from the body. It's also loaded with folate, which helps lower levels of homocysteine, which clogs the arteries. So make an extra one for yourself. Exercising with your child is one of the most fun things you can both do, and it's never too early to start exercising with your children, however young they are. But if you are going to start early with exercises for babies and toddlers, it is absolutely crucial that you make sure the exercises are suitable. Remember, your baby or toddler can get plenty of exercise by playing in their normal way. Keep them active and not just sit them down in front of the TV. It goes without saying that babies will not need any strenuous activity. Instead, think of each movement they learn, such as sitting up, rolling over, and when they are ready, standing up, as an exercise. Each movement they make towards crawling and then walking is as much about their development and coordination skills as any ideas of fitness. Babies are resilient and will enjoy the exercises which you do with them, and more importantly, will enjoy exercise as they grow older. It is preferable for them to see exercise as something they do as a matter of course, rather than something which they are forced into as an older child. By playing with your baby or toddler and encouraging movement, you will keep them fit just as nature intended. It's important for all children to take part in active play throughout the day, and as they get older, they will need to burn off energy, explore, learn new skills, use their imagination, and develop healthy, strong bodies. They love games that get them jumping, dancing, catching, and running. Go outside, even if it means getting a bit dirty. Take a run around the park or walk to the shops instead of taking the bus. Take advantage of the playgrounds and the beaches. Take toys or skates or a bike or the dog. If you're stuck indoors, dancing is always a favorite, as is hide and seek and party games like musical statues, head, shoulders, knees and toes. And most young children love making dens, so getting them to tidy up afterwards keeps them moving too. Yoga for young children is an interesting concept. Almost everyone these days is doing yoga, from young, health-conscious people to busy office goers, the over 50s, celebrities and fashion models. Yoga is the in thing, and almost everyone wants to benefit from the soothing exercise. For fitness, fun or strength, for stress relief or spiritual benefits, yoga is a very suitable fitness program for small children. It also has a lot of other health benefits like better sleeping, a calm behavior, and a flexible body. Yoga, when done by toddlers and children, can also help reduce anxiety, improve concentration and self-discipline, and can teach them how to manage time better. It can help build a positive personality and can also be a fun way of introducing exercise into their routine. If you're planning to introduce your child to flexibility-orientated sports like gymnastics or ballet, then yoga classes can go a long way in preparing the body and the mind. Here are some easy beginner-level poses that are recommended for kids. And my little girl Isabella is going to help me show you. Okay, Isabella, let's do the wheel pose.
Okay.
That's your bridge. Okay, the wheel pose keeps your spine healthy and flexible, strengthens arms and legs, expands the chest to help you breathe, improves blood circulation to the brain to help improve memory. Okay, let's try the tree pose. Good girl. The tree pose promotes balance, good posture, and body awareness. Gives an upward stretch to the spine, rib cage, neck, and arms. Improves concentration. Develops emotional and mental balance. And the last one is the plow pose. Okay. Well done. The plow pose keeps your back healthy, strong and flexible, keeps the hips and the backs of the legs flexible, is good for the entire body, especially the throat, improves circulation, and unfortunately, that's all we have time for. But don't miss next week when we will tackle childhood obesity. So until then, good night and bye-bye from Isabella and me. Say bye.